Many women may like different men, but they only chase the one they feel they can't replace. Machiavelli showed that true value comes from being rare, not from trying too hard. When you live with purpose, protect your time, and think with discipline, women notice the difference immediately. You stop being just another option and become the man she measures everyone else against. In this video, I'll show you how to become the kind of man a woman respects instantly, fears losing, and secretly desires, someone she can't ignore and always wants near. Why being unreachable makes you irresistible. Most men completely misunderstand what really draws a woman's attention. Many think being funny, charming, or constantly available will make a woman like them. They believe that sending endless texts, giving non-stop compliments, or doing favors will make her stay. But that's a huge mistake. Psychology, both old and modern, shows a very different truth. Women, like all humans, are naturally attracted to things that feel rare, mysterious, and valuable. Here's the simple idea. When something is too easy to get, it quickly loses its charm. If you are always there, always eager, always trying too hard, your presence becomes ordinary. She doesn't feel that spark of curiosity or excitement. She doesn't see you as someone unique, someone worth chasing. Most men completely miss this. Social science backs this up. Studies show that humans value things that are limited or hard to get. This is called the principle of scarcity. When something seems rare or difficult to obtain, our brain automatically considers it more valuable. When applied to attraction, the rule is clear. Women are drawn to men whose attention, time, and energy are not endless. Even Machiavelli knew this hundreds of years ago when he wrote, "Men judge more from appearances than from reality. All men have eyes, but few have the gift of penetration." He meant that people constantly read signals from others, often without realizing it. Women notice the energy you give off, how you value yourself, and how available you make yourself. They don't need explanations. They feel it naturally, and it sparks attraction. This is why being too available, predictable, or eager kills interest. If she knows she can reach you anytime, your value drops immediately. The excitement disappears, and the chase is gone. What keeps fascination alive is deliberate scarcity. By managing your time, focus, and energy, you send a quiet but powerful message. I am valuable. I am not easy to get. I am worth your attention. Being scarce doesn't mean being cold, cruel, or playing childish mind games. It doesn't mean ignoring her completely. It simply means respecting yourself, setting boundaries, and showing that your presence is meaningful and rare. When a woman notices this, she can't help but pay attention. She starts noticing your calmness, confidence, and habits. She begins to see you as someone unique, someone she cannot easily replace. Think about it in real life. In a room full of men trying to impress women with jokes, flashy clothes, or non-stop attention, there's one man who doesn't try. He is calm, focused on himself, and speaks only when necessary. Slowly, women start noticing him. They wonder why he is different. That is the effect of scarcity. You don't need to force attention. You just need to exist in a way that feels rare, intentional, and valuable. This principle works because it taps into deep, subconscious human behavior. Women naturally compare their options. When they sense a man's time and attention are limited, their interest grows automatically. Scarcity creates curiosity, intrigue, and desire. When combined with a perception of high value, she begins to chase, not because you begged or tried too hard, but because she senses something she cannot fully have or control. The main lesson is this: attraction isn't about how much you give. It's about how much you allow yourself to be wanted. The man who is always available loses. The man who is deliberate, disciplined, and scarce wins. Scarcity is subtle, quiet, but incredibly powerful. It's the first step in becoming the kind of man a woman fears losing, respects instantly, and naturally wants to pursue. How silent presence draws women naturally. Many men think attracting women is all about what they say, funny jokes, clever lines, or endless compliments. They believe that words are the key to sparking interest. But the truth is, lasting attraction rarely comes from talking. What truly draws women is how a man carries himself, his energy, his calmness, and the quiet confidence he radiates. Stoic philosophers understood this clearly. Marcus Aurelius once advised, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." The lesson here is simple. Stop trying to impress others with forced charm or clever words. Instead, focus on becoming a man of substance, grounded, confident, and purposeful. When you live like this, women feel it instinctively, even before they consciously notice it. Machiavelli also spoke about the power of silent influence. He wrote, "It is not by force, but by artful guidance that men hold power over others." This idea is timeless. Real attraction doesn't come from trying too hard, boasting, or chasing attention. It comes from being steady, deliberate, and fully in control of yourself. When a man's presence is strong, he doesn't need to speak loudly. People notice him naturally. Think about men you've seen in a room who barely talk, yet command attention. Women glance at them, and men respect them. This is not luck, it's the power of presence. Words are fleeting, jokes are quickly forgotten. But how a man moves, how he stands, and how he reacts leaves a lasting impression. Presence is also about emotional control. A man who reacts to every small thing or constantly tries to impress appears insecure. Women feel this instantly, but a man who stays calm, collected, and intentional signals authority and self-confidence. That quiet strength is magnetic. It communicates that he controls his life, his emotions, and his choices. Machiavelli's advice about influence works here too. The most powerful force is often invisible. People sense it before they can explain it. The same principle applies to attraction. A woman may not know why she feels drawn to a man, but if he is grounded, patient, and deliberate, she notices the difference. He is not like the loud, needy, or desperate men she's used to. You can build this presence through small, deliberate habits. Stand tall, maintain steady eye contact, and move with purpose. Speak only when necessary. Silence often communicates more than words ever could. A calm, confident man doesn't need constant talking. His energy speaks volumes. Words fade, but presence endures. Living intentionally amplifies this effect. A man with goals, discipline, and direction naturally signals value. Listening attentively, acting with integrity, and being patient show that he is rare and deliberate. Women notice this immediately. It signals he cannot be easily replaced or predicted. Presence also becomes more powerful when paired with scarcity. Making yourself slightly less available creates a natural pull. She notices you more than others, feels drawn to you, and may even start pursuing you without understanding why. This is the subtle magic of presence. It's not about lines, tricks, or manipulation. It's about living with confidence, self-control, and magnetism that women sense deeply. In essence, words may capture attention for a moment, but presence creates lasting fascination. Your calm energy, self-discipline, and intentional actions speak louder than any line ever could. By mastering silent presence, you become the man women are naturally drawn to without saying much at all. Presence over words isn't just a strategy, it's a lifestyle. It is being deliberate, composed, and magnetic in every moment, and that energy is impossible to ignore. The magnetic power of self-respect and personal boundaries. A woman naturally feels drawn to a man who first respects himself. This is a principle many men overlook, yet it is one of the strongest forces behind attraction. Human psychology shows that people are instinctively drawn to those who value themselves, protect their energy, and set firm boundaries. Men often reduce their own worth without realizing it by constantly giving too much, seeking approval, or bending their standards to please someone. Even if it seems kind or charming, overextending yourself signals a lack of self-value. Having boundaries doesn't mean being cold, selfish, or distant. It means having clarity, self-respect, and control over your life. When a man sets clear limits on his time, energy, and attention, he communicates that he is not available for everyone. It shows confidence, self-discipline, and value. Women pick up on this subconsciously. A man who is calm, purposeful, and selective stands out naturally. This subtle difference immediately sparks curiosity and attraction. Machiavelli knew this centuries ago when he advised, "Make them value your presence by showing you can disappear." Absence is a quiet but powerful tool. When you stop constantly seeking validation or attention, your presence gains meaning. Women notice that you are someone whose attention is rare and valuable. That rarity creates fascination and desire. Boundaries also work by comparison. When a woman sees that your time and attention are limited, she unconsciously measures your value against other men. Men who are always available or eager are often taken for granted, but a man with clear rules, who protects his time and refuses to tolerate disrespect, becomes hard to replace. His self-respect and control naturally inspire admiration. She chases not because you persuaded her, but because she recognizes your strength and authority. This is why setting boundaries is one of the most effective tools in attraction. They communicate independence, strength, and confidence without a single word. Women can sense immediately when a man has standards and cannot be manipulated. That subtle challenge triggers respect, intrigue, and a magnetic pull. Boundaries also safeguard your energy and focus. Life is full of people who drain your time and effort without giving anything valuable in return. By holding firm limits, you avoid wasting your energy on those who do not appreciate your worth. Protecting your interactions and priorities shows that you are a man of purpose, discipline, and substance. Women are naturally drawn to men who reflect power and stability. In short, a man who respects himself, sets clear boundaries, and holds high standards becomes magnetic. Presence, rarity, and self-respect turn ordinary attention into deep attraction. When your attention is perceived as a privilege, women cannot help but notice you. They respect you, pursue you, and recognize that you are someone unique and irreplaceable. Boundaries are more than just rules. They are a statement of value. They show that you protect your energy, honor your time, and demand respect from others. Scarcity, self-respect, and clarity create an irresistible aura. Women sense it instinctively, and it transforms admiration into genuine desire. By standing firm in your standards and valuing your own presence, you become more than just another man. You become someone rare, commanding, and unforgettable. The magnetic power of a man with purpose. A man who knows where he's heading naturally draws attention. It's not the way he dresses, the jokes he tells, or even his looks that make people notice him. It's the sense that he is moving through life with focus and intention. Psychology tells us that humans are drawn to those who are confident, capable, and clear about what they want. Women, especially, are instinctively attracted to men who are building something meaningful, chasing goals, and consistently working toward them. This isn't about showing off or pretending to be important. It's about living a life that has structure, meaning, and value. Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." When a man has a strong reason for living, whether it's growing a career, mastering a skill, or following a personal mission, he develops a confidence that can't be faked. This confidence shows in his posture, the way he speaks, and even before he says a word. Women notice it immediately. They are drawn to men who are fully engaged in their own lives because these men radiate independence, focus, and unstoppable energy. Purpose also makes a man fascinating. Many men simply react to events, attention, or approval. A man with a vision does not react. He acts. He sets his own course and moves forward, no matter what others think. This type of self-driven energy is magnetic. Women sense it without even realizing why. They notice that he cannot be controlled, predicted, or easily understood. That mix of mystery and competence sparks curiosity and attraction. She feels naturally drawn to follow him, not because he asks, but because she senses the strength, stability, and direction in his life. Having a purpose isn't about being busy or filling your time. It's about being intentional. It's about choosing exactly where to put your energy, attention, and effort. A man who shapes his life around meaningful goals projects authority without speaking a word. His calm focus, the determination in his eyes, and his decisive actions send a silent but powerful message. These subtle signals are far stronger than charm or clever words. Even Machiavelli understood the impact of purpose. A man who controls his own life, who builds and shapes his own destiny, naturally gains influence. People, including women, are drawn to men who create, lead, and act. Purpose communicates stability, skill, and vision. It shows that a man is strong, steady, and rare, and that his energy is valuable. Living with vision also protects a man's worth. When your life has direction, you don't waste time on people or things that don't match your energy. That scarcity of attention, combined with visible focus and ability, makes you rare and desirable. Women notice this. They see a man whose life is unshakable, a man who is unique, respected, and commanding just by being himself. In short, living with purpose changes a man completely. It builds inner strength, draws attention naturally, sparks fascination, and encourages pursuit. Women are not drawn to men who are lost, reactive, or desperate. They are drawn to men who move through life with clarity, focus, and deliberate action. Purpose makes a man magnetic. Purpose makes him untouchable, and purpose makes her chase him because she senses a life she cannot predict, a presence she cannot control, and a man she cannot replace. The quiet power that naturally attracts women. Attraction doesn't need to be loud, flashy, or demanding. It isn't about showing off, over-explaining yourself, or begging for attention. True attraction works silently. It's subtle, calm, and almost invisible, but it can be extremely strong. Centuries ago, Machiavelli wrote about power, explaining that the most effective influence is often quiet and unseen. The same principle applies to attraction. You don't force a woman to notice you, chase you, or give you her attention. Instead, you create an energy that naturally pulls her toward you. Every small detail counts. The way you hold eye contact for just a moment, pause before responding, or avoid oversharing shows confidence and control. These tiny gestures speak louder than words. Women sense this immediately. They can feel the calm, self-assured energy, even if they can't explain why it's magnetic. Psychology gives us insight into why this works. One principle is the Zeigarnik effect, the idea that people remember unfinished or incomplete patterns more and feel a strong urge to complete them. When you don't reveal everything about yourself, when you keep a bit of mystery, her mind becomes curious. She wants to understand you, figure out your thoughts, and discover what makes you different. Mystery, in this way, becomes one of the strongest tools of attraction. Independence adds even more pull. A man who doesn't constantly seek approval, who lives life with focus, discipline, and purpose, naturally fascinates women. She notices that you cannot be controlled or predicted. This unpredictability sparks curiosity and desire. Curiosity becomes admiration. Admiration grows into attraction, and attraction often leads her to pursue you. Machiavelli emphasized influence over force. It is not by force, but by artful guidance that men hold power over others. In relationships, this idea means guiding interactions gently, without pressure. Every glance, word, and pause should be intentional. You show that you are confident, self-sufficient, and not desperate. Women feel this energy on a deep level, even if they can't put it into words. Timing is crucial. Overly frequent messages, constant attention, or always being available can destroy the effect. Giving space is essential. Your absence makes her mind wonder what you are thinking, what you are doing, and why you remain calm. This gap fuels curiosity, and curiosity is one of the most powerful triggers for attraction. Energy matters more than words. Calm, focused energy shows strength. Independence shows value. Small, deliberate gestures communicate presence and control. Women are drawn to people whose lives are unpredictable, self-directed, and full of purpose. This is the core of the invisible magnet. You don't chase her, yet she begins to chase you. You don't persuade her, yet she becomes intrigued. Mastering this requires mastering yourself first. Control your emotions. Stay composed in social situations. Speak carefully and move with intention. Let silence, mystery, and subtle gestures work in your favor. Every look, pause, and word becomes a tool in this quiet dance of attraction. In short, the invisible magnet is about creating desire naturally through calm confidence, mystery, and independence. It's subtle, indirect, and extremely effective. A woman is drawn to you not because you forced her, but because you became magnetic, unpredictable, and untouchable. She feels the pull, even if she doesn't fully understand why. The secrets of effortless attraction. Attraction isn't about luck, charm, or looks. True attraction goes much deeper. It happens when a man becomes someone a woman feels she can't replace. When you combine rarity, presence, purpose, and subtle influence, you create a magnetic energy that draws her in naturally. She doesn't need convincing or persuasion. She is drawn to you simply because of who you are and the life you lead. Your time, attention, and energy are intentional, making her notice a man unlike any other. There's a pull she can't explain, a curiosity she can't resist, and an attraction she cannot control. The first step is scarcity. By giving your time and attention selectively, you show that you are not just available to anyone. You are a man worth seeking. When your attention is valuable, women sense your worth instinctively. Presence is the next key. Being calm, grounded, and deliberate in how you carry yourself communicates confidence without a single word. This presence makes your energy noticeable and magnetic, drawing her interest without any effort. Purpose adds depth to your attraction. A man with clear goals, direction, and vision is impossible to dominate or predict. A life that is structured, meaningful, and intentional becomes intriguing. Purpose communicates that you are living on your own terms, which naturally sparks respect and fascination. Finally, subtle influence completes the picture. Your energy, actions, and behavior send quiet signals that shape attraction without forcing it. She senses your energy and responds naturally, often without realizing why. The philosopher Schopenhauer captured this idea perfectly when he said, "A woman will love a man who awakens in her a secret desire she cannot understand." True attraction doesn't come from tricks, manipulation, or pressure. It comes from being a man whose energy, life, and presence create fascination. She is drawn to your confidence, independence, and rare qualities. It's not about forcing her feelings, it's about embodying a life that naturally sparks interest and curiosity. When a man masters these principles, the chase becomes effortless. Women start to notice subtle patterns: how you move, how you respond, and how selectively you give attention. They sense that your time is limited, that your focus is disciplined, and that your life is guided by purpose. This awareness makes them seek you, not because they are being persuaded, but because the combination of rarity, presence, purpose, and subtle influence makes you impossible to ignore. Machiavelli's advice fits perfectly here. Influence is strongest when it is invisible. You don't need to chase or constantly prove yourself. When you live intentionally, she mirrors your energy, notices your rhythm, and aligns with your life naturally. Her interest becomes a reflection of your self-discipline, your control over your own life, and the presence you carry. At this stage, attraction grows into fascination. She is no longer merely interested, she is captivated by your energy, curious about your life, and drawn to your presence. Your boundaries protect your value, while your confidence and purpose increase your magnetic pull. The chase isn't about her testing you, it's a natural response to the man you have become. This is not manipulation, it is mastery. Mastery of your life, your energy, and your presence. Scarcity, presence, purpose, and subtle influence are tools that make attraction effortless. A woman doesn't chase because she is being persuaded. She chases because she senses something rare, magnetic, and powerful in you. When you live like this, attraction flows naturally. She is drawn to you effortlessly, fascinated by you, and curious about you, all without a word of persuasion. You become a man who cannot be replaced, controlled, or ignored. The power of attraction stops being forced. It becomes natural, irresistible, and magnetic. Machiavelli wasn't about tricking people. He taught strategy, self-control, and mastering yourself. These are the traits that make a man truly magnetic. When you live with intention, protect your time, and carry yourself with purpose, women notice immediately. They sense a man who is rare, confident, and solid. A man they can't replace, ignore, or forget. Being valuable, present, and purposeful isn't a game. They are real forces of attraction. Scarcity isn't selfish. It shows self-respect and strength. Boundaries aren't walls, they show power and control. When you combine these qualities, women naturally feel drawn to you. She becomes curious, interested, and even feels compelled to pursue, without you having to say a word. This isn't about acting or pretending to be someone else, it's about becoming the man who naturally earns respect and desire. Every decision you make, how you spend your time, how you carry yourself, and how you chase your goals communicates your value. Women feel it instinctively, even if they can't explain why. Be that man, move with purpose, keep your standards high, protect your energy, live deliberately. She will notice, she will respect, she will never see another man the same way. Real power comes from who you are and how you navigate life, not from what you say. If this insight helped you, like the video to save the strategy, subscribe for more hidden psychological truths, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Comment below with your experiences. Have you noticed women drawn to men who know their worth? Your story could inspire the next video and help others understand these powerful lessons.